Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So, today I had this weird idea just to talk about my key bindings and like some little, life hacks. I hate using that word, but like a QOL trick or something. Just something to make your life a little bit easier. My whole channel's purpose is to make things easier for MapleStory because I love this game. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So this is my keyboard. It's really fucking weird. Don't judge. I mean, if you want, comment below, roast my keyboard. I'm so welcome to hear that. But yeah, my keyboard is weird as fuck. So first off, let's talk about my F1 to F7. These are usually your emotes, like F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7. I don't really emote it that much. Like, I don't really, like, the only emotes that I really use is like F3, which I love F3. And I love F6, my favorite emote. I just love to press F6. These are the only emotes I really like using. So instead of using these other emotes, I just took them off. And like, I really challenge you guys to, if you don't really, if you don't really, use these emotes, just take them off. So instead of F2, I just put like a skill like that, or I use my auto attack. My auto attack is F4. I don't cry. Like, I don't like crying in MapleStory. I never used F4. So, because crying is not good. So yeah. So for example, a good example of using this would be you go into CRA or Rudibus, and then you just kill the boss, right? And at the end it requires you to shit, I didn't kill that. It requires you to hit the box, and it's really fucking annoying. So there you go, you dead. Alright. There we go. So yeah, I don't like using the spacebar for attack. There's so many better keys to use for spacebar that are more important. Like, unless your class is like Demon Slayer, if I recall correctly, I think Demon Slayer uses auto attack to actually do like combos. Also Aran, the hero class, the warrior hero class, it requires auto attack. So unless you're one of those classes, I don't recommend doing this. But if you're a class like Dual Blade, or like Mercedes or something, that these are the two classes I've been playing. That's why I'm bringing those up. If you don't really use the auto attack, if your class doesn't require auto attacking, then just put it on a really out of reach key instead of spacebar. Your spacebar key could be used for so many different things. Like, I literally could use my Oz ring, so let's use my Oz ring. So when I use my Oz ring, I have the ring activation to spacebar, so that is just very useful to me when I'm bossing or doing covert or something like that. So yeah, that is just something that I do to make my life a little bit easier. I never use auto attack on like spacebar because it's such a giant key on your screen. Like, you shouldn't waste it on just auto attacking unless your class requires it. So yeah, let's just go into the next one. Number two is okay, actually, let me go back into the first one. So what I see people do is that for F1, F2, F3, F4, they use it for buffs. I see a lot of pros and like Reboot and all that. I watch their videos, and like I see that they use like their buffs. They use it in the exact order. Depending on your class, you have to use your buffs in a certain order. I believe it would, for Thief, it would go something like Epic Adventure, Shadow Walker. It's 30-second duration, and this is a little bit lower duration if you toggle Last Resort. If you're a Thief, you know what I'm talking about. And then you use whatever it is you most of the time you use Terms Condition, aka the Angelic Buster link last. So for me, it would just be like apply that, and it would just F1, F2, 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 F3, F4, and then I have my full damage burst. And then after that, I just press my buttons, and then yeah. So yeah, if it helps you to have your buttons in like a certain order, so you know which buttons to press, panic during bossing, like covert and all that, GPQ, this is very helpful. So yeah, I recommend doing that. But I personally don't do that. But I've seen a lot of pros do that who are like end game bossing and stuff like that. It's just very helpful. So, but yeah, just keep in mind presets. You go over here to the top right. You literally just press the button, then you hit apply, and then it's done. And you can also keybind it, but I don't recommend doing this because it wastes the keyboard, or it wastes a key on your keyboard. So yeah. So what else are we going to talk about? Okay, so another thing that I do is MapleStory is really fucking loud. Okay, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. MapleStory is really fucking loud. I don't like hearing the sounds. I don't know about you guys, but I love, like, I'm a huge Spotify guy. I don't know if you're Apple Music or Spotify, but I love listening to music in MapleStory. Like MapleStory music gets very tiring, but it's like I also want to listen to music from Spotify, or like when I'm training, I'll listen to music on like Spotify, or I'll watch a video on YouTube and just, you know, grind away. I don't really pay attention when I grind to MapleStory. Like this is literally how I grind. If I'm gonna like try to hit 280, I will literally just hit the mute button and grind. So I don't really enjoy, you know, doing all that. I just want to listen to my music. I don't want to hear the sound effects in MapleStory. I turn everything to like really low volume, and then I just grind. So if you guys like hearing other music while you're playing MapleStory, I recommend keybinding this. You can turn it on and off. So it's just, MapleStory is really fucking loud, guys. Like I don't know why it's so loud. Like look at my settings. My settings are always like muting this shit. Like I never have MapleStory on like full volume. Like if I want to hear things, I'll just put it like really low volume and have music playing. But yeah, I just think MapleStory is really fucking loud. I don't know why. Like does anyone else feel this way? Like it's just so loud. Like comment below if you think MapleStory is really fucking loud. But yeah, so I just have a mute button permanently on scroll lock. It's very far out of reach, but it, you know, when I need it, when I need MapleStory to shut the fuck up, I press the scroll lock button and it's muted. So yeah. So another thing that I do, I have talked about this in my channel in the past, but it's been like over years, so I'll just resurface it. Instead of the cash shop button, I don't use that. I use coffee milk, aka a nearest return scroll, or nearest return town scroll, whatever it's called. Do I even have like the actual town scroll? Do I? Can I? Yeah. So you go to your Android and you have nearest town scroll. Oh yeah. So nearest town scroll. Yeah. So you can keybind. What you can do is you can just buy a bunch of these, keybind it to this button, and when you're done with dailies, you simply press it and you instantly teleport back to town. I find this so helpful for like dailies and stuff, so I recommend doing that for sure. That's just a little trick that I do. I'm sure a lot of people do this. They have nearest town scroll keybinded. I don't think it's like a really popular trick, but I know people do this. And for my last little keybinds trick is that when you're killing E-bosses, aka elite bosses, you know, they'll spawn randomly in your map and it'll be like, oh, warning, and then the screen goes black. That's an elite boss. So when you kill an elite boss, you get the rare treasure chest, which is, you know, it has some rare stuff in it. It could be very helpful to your progression. Sometimes I do this thing where I forget to open it, and like from what I understand, it expires in like 10 minutes or something like that. Like it just expires like really quickly. So in order to avoid that, I immediately press F7. You see how I have this key binded to F7? I just immediately press that and it's done. So that is something that I do for convenience. And then number 2 is that I use Super Advanced Hunter Pouch for F8. This is from, you know, Poyo and Frito portals. So once I'm done with those, I immediately leave the portal and I don't forget to claim it. I just immediately press F8 and then it will be like, wow, you already have it claimed. And it's just, I don't have to like click on it. It just saves me so much like, you know, finger work. I have to move my fingers and stuff. But, you know, it's the same thing for, you know, I like to just press on my keyboard. I don't like to move my mouse around that much when I'm playing MapleStory. So that is just something that I do that I'm very nuanced about. And then the final thing is that I recommend, if you're like end game, like I'd say if you're doing like sorry, not Hard you're doing Varus Hilla. When you're doing Varus Hilla, this is a boss that's really fucking annoying, and it's easier in GMS than KMS, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about this. If you're doing Varus Hilla or Part 2 Will, these two bosses require healing because some parts of the boss, or Part 2 specifically of Will, does not let you heal. You have to heal like under certain circumstances, so it's really annoying. So what you can do is that if you have healing familiars, you go to equip, you click on that, and then so these are my bossing familiars, right? 40 boss. And then I have a healing page. So I have this, I have continually restores large amount of HP to nearby allies, continually restores a large amount of HP to nearby allies. So if you have healing familiars, you want to keybind your summon familiars, which is, if you don't want to find that, you click on your skill window and you go to the first page and then you click on summon familiars and you can actually keybind this. So I usually have it keybinded to F11. So when I'm doing Hard Hilla, or sorry, I keep calling it Hard Hilla, Varus Hilla, and you want to keep healing, like your HP is like getting really low and you need to heal, is that what I'll do is I'll just flash jump to the other side and I'll summon my familiars, and then you have it conveniently keybinded. So every time you resummon your familiars, if you guys didn't know this, every time you resummon your familiars, you can heal So it's very helpful for Vihilla or Part 2 Will, where you cannot heal. They literally block your healing. So that is just something that you can do. Everything in Vihilla does not let you heal unless you get the altar, which is like, looks like this or something like that. And then, yeah, you get the point. If you do Varus Hilla, you understand what I'm talking about. If you do Part 2 Will, if you solo Will every week, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So you want to have your summoning familiars keybinded. I'm pretty sure most people already know this if they do those bosses, but I just want to let you guys know who haven't reached these bosses yet and they want to tackle end game bosses such as Hard Will and Hard Vihilla. So yeah, that is I rambled a lot in this video. I'm trying to make my videos a lot shorter because I do tend to ramble. It says this recording is like 4 minutes, so not too bad. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If you enjoyed and you found this helpful, please leave a comment below. And in addition to that, if you have any like tricks that you do or any weird things that you use for keybinds, comment below. I want to hear what you guys do for keybinds. Like I say in every single video, I do read every single comment, whether I'm on the toilet, whether I'm in public, and I'm just bored reading my YouTube comments. I just love reading comments, so and it increases engagement in my videos. So just leave a comment below about your keybinds. I would love to hear like all of the weird keys that you use for your keybinds. And this is a judgment-free zone. We can all roast each other in this. We can all roast each other in the comments. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Love you guys for subscribing, liking, commenting. God, I sound so awkward when I say that. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. This is a really weird video. I don't know. Just don't even ask. But I hope it was helpful. Okay.